Today, we're going to be picking up from where we left off 6 days ago with the analysis that I did on USDJPY. So if you was watching from last week's analysis or the week prior, you should definitely have made some coin, right, based on the analysis that I shared with you. And I love it when I'm able to assist you guys with your trades. So a couple of the moves that I called out definitely came into being, right? So coins were made. Whether you tapped in or not, that's on you. But this is one of the main reasons why it's important to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. So whenever I drop a video, you're one of the first to see it. And remember, because we are doing live analysis in the market, the videos are time sensitive. So you definitely want to be tapped in as soon as a video drops. You want to see it, right? So with that said and done, we're going to talk about the good news of last week, what we talked about, some of the moves that we made, right? Some of the moves that I talked about, and how you would have been able to obviously get some coin off of that, right? As well as what we need to look out for this week, right? Or for the next couple of days at least, because today's Wednesday. So we want to make sure that obviously whatever it is that I talk to you guys about today, it has a higher probability of making sure that it assists you with the overall analysis style. So that's one. And two, is that you're able then to go ahead and replicate some of the stuff I've talked about to help you with your trades, especially if you're new in this space. If you're an old veteran, I'm just reinforcing some of the things you probably would have noticed yourself in the markets. But if you're new, then I'm basically helping you take a decent shortcut in the game as to how you can actually put some coins in your pocket. So moving on, last week, right? So last week we was around here, right, when I did the analysis, and these were the two levels that I pointed out to you guys, right? And these levels were in line with this low value node area right here of the of the volume profile. So the low value node, right, this is it right here, which is located in the high value area. If I can just bring this in. So this is the high value area, right, of the volume profile. So that's this whole thing. This whole thing right here is the volume profile, right? And then we have the boundaries. So this is the high side boundary and this is the low side boundary. These two levels right here are incredibly important. And this is why I'm so proud of this analysis that I've been sharing with you for these last couple of weeks, right? Because we've had like a textbook play as to how we can all get paid, and it worked out to the T in terms of how everything moved, right? So when I did last week's analysis 6 days ago, we was around this level right here. And I talked about these zones right here, okay? So on the high side, we're looking at 144.731. And on the low side, we're looking at 144.086. And I said, if we get a close below 144.086, we should be looking for shorts. So we was up here when this recording was done. So this was dead on Wednesday. So dead on Wednesday. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So on Wednesday itself, right? So this is the Wednesday day. This is what we got. Price came all the way down. As a matter of fact, let me zoom in a little bit tighter, right? It's a little bit tighter in this area. So if you look at the black cursor along, you will see that this was on a Wednesday, right? So this was on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, 6 in the morning, roughly was around the time I did the recording. It probably would have gone up maybe about 8 o'clock, whatever, right? So about 9 o'clock, we was about here, okay? So if you tapped in and you was able to take advantage of that, and by the way, I'm not recommending whenever I make a video and I drop something that is very similar to a signal, you just blindly tap in, right? You gotta like make sure it actually makes sense before you do, because I do make mistakes, but I do love it when I'm right, because this is why I do what it is that I do, and it also reinforces the fact that I am improving day by day. Do you know what I mean? So when price came into this area right here, okay, which was on the day of the video itself, what happened was we had a parabolic push to the downside, right? A really solid day of straight blues, right? So if you was one of these individuals that was able to tap in, well done to you for getting all of that. And chances are you could have collected anywhere between, let's have a look, anywhere between 161 pips, right, on that move based on the analysis on the on the Wednesday. Almost forgot what day I was talking about. Apologies. And then after that, on the Thursday, we had price move away and head back to the low value node area. Okay. So this move, if you had taken this move once price left the point of control, which was at this level right here, right? And that level right here, another thing I want to stop doing is just giving generic locations, actually just giving you pinpoint accuracy. I think that's better. So the point of control is currently sitting at 142.859. Okay, so that's the level of the point of control right now. It's been like that since last week. It might change moving forward, but this is where it's at the moment, right? So if you saw that move pushing to the upside, okay, you could have jumped on it. Me personally, right, I would have preferred to try to get a push to the upside from this level over here. So chances are I would not have taken this move because that would have been a risky trade on my part. But if you did and you was able to ride it all the way up here, you did quite well as well. So then that basically means for you, you would have gained from this level up here, you would have had a profit potential of 149 pips, right? So another good move. So if you got it all the way down and all the way up, chances are for last week, you walked away with 300 pips trading USDJPY, and that there you deserve a pat on the back for your moves, right? So I definitely congratulate you on that move if you got that. So now with that said and done, okay, we now move into this week. So on this week right now, let me just, because there's a couple of things that I don't do when I'm looking at, the currency pairs, which is I don't bring in weekly lows and weekly highs, and I think I should. So let me just bring in our vertical lines, right? So this is bringing our vertical lines right now. So we've done Tuesday, okay, so that's our first vertical line here. And then we're going to drop a second vertical line to cover last week. Okay. And reason why I'm bringing that on now is I'm trying to work out the location of last week's high, right? Last week's weekly high. And that, my friends, is right here. So we got that on the Friday. Right here, and as we can see currently right now, price is come all the way up to it, right? All the way up to it. So we're just going to draw across that like so. We're going to add the weekly high on there because that's what is the, we're not going to bother too much about the weekly low. We're just going to focus on the weekly high for now because this is where price is at the moment. And then we're going to assess what we kind of need to do. So as it stands right now, we've got a really good signal. Right, we've got a good signal. You should be able to see it. It's clear as day. And what we have is this low value node area right here. Okay, price has gone through it, come back in to tap into it again, as now blasted away. Okay, blasted away. We have a parabolic move at this location right here. Okay, so this is the parabolic move that we have. Okay, that gives us a strong indication to say that price actually wants to go up. As we are recording right now, price is looking like it wants to close above last week's weekly high, right? It might do it. We've got 45 minutes until we find that out, so it might do it. And if we do get that close, that's another positive reinforcement to say, hey, price is going up. Okay, so that's another really good reinforcement that we obviously, that I like, in all fairness. So with all of that said, let's look at what we could do right now. I mean, as it stands, with what price is doing now, I literally would be looking for buys right now. Okay, I'm not telling you to jump in with a buy in a market, but I'm saying based on what I'm seeing, I'll be looking for buys, right? And once again, I'm not a financial advisor, so whatever you do is on you. So say if I was to take this buy right now, how would I position myself? Well, basically, it would be like this. It would be like this, right? So first off, let me add some labels. So first off, this is where my stop will be. Let me change the color. Let's make that red. Right, so this is where my stop will be. My stop for this entry would be at 144.628. That would be my stop, right? My entry will be market right now as it stands, right? Where it is right now. And where it is right now is 145.105. And it's fluctuating up and down right now, right? So it could be anywhere by the time you see this video on YouTube, which should be in the next couple of, in about an hour or two, once I've kind of cleaned this up and posted it for you guys, right? So that will be a market entry, and my stop would be at the border of the low value node on the high side, right? Which is 146.097. I'm going to make this one here white so it can kind of pop for you guys. Let's make this white so it pops. Okay, so that's where that would be, right? That's where that would be, how I would do it, right? And I would monitor the situation. At that level, I'll be expecting price to do a rejection at that level, because we've had a rejection at that level before over here. That took place on Thursday, the 29th of May. So I would expect a rejection at that level. This is purely based on the fact that I want to get in on a trade today, right? If I'm looking for something a little bit more long term, I would actually wait for a really good position. I'll wait for price to get into a really good position before I think about jumping in, because I kind of want to hold it for a long period of time. So for that, I would wait. But because obviously what we're doing right now, we want to get in right now, right? This is how I basically would do it. Now, what's in it for me, which is the most important question that people don't ask enough, which is what's in it for me? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is in it for me? What do I gain if I do this, right? So with that, we'll say this. What's in it for you is if you was to get in at current prices right now up to the border of the low value node, which is located in the high value area of the volume profile, you'd be looking at 101 pips to the upside, providing price continues to go up, right? That is your profit potential. That's what's in it for you, right? That is what's in it for you right now. So with all of that said and done, let's jump into a higher time frame, and then let's have a look to see what is the probability of us getting what we're after. So looking at how price is behaving right now, I would say the probability of price continuing to push up is quite high on our part. It is quite high, so we should be comfortable with those trades. That's on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour looks good. On the day, it also looks good because we've had a bit of consolidation in this area over here, and it looks like price is breaking away. So on the day, it also looks good in terms of price moving in a direction that is moving. So now let's jump into a week and let's see what we got going on with the week. Well, we can see that the weekly candle is pushing up. So it looks like this area over here might be the target where price wants to go, right? Where price wants to go. So on the week, it's also looking bullish. It's also looking bullish on the week. And the price target on the week would be 148.662. That's if price continues on its trajectory to the upside, okay? So now let's go to a month and let's see what we could actually get in a month. I think it's going to be more in line of what we saw with the week. I'm not really expecting it to kind of go against that. So yeah, so in a nutshell, okay, we've got one or two things happening. So if we look at this in a week, or let me just see if I can grab, let me clean all this off actually. Okay, so if we look at this in a month, right? What's taking place in this area over here, okay, we could have an ascending channel or an ascending flag. That could be what we got going on here right now, okay? And the cool thing with an ascending channel is that it usually breaks downwards. So it kind of supports a move to the downside more than it does support a move to the upside. So with that, okay, I would be more saying, okay, there is a possibility it is going to break downwards. And this is us looking at this move on the monthly right now, okay? And we could look at, say, a price target of where I pointed at before, which is around this level over here. So if you go back to the previous chart, that would be this level right here. So this level right here is what we're looking at, because that is the monthly wick, but just too noisy, and obviously I don't want to get rid of that, so we just go to a clean chart. So that would be 148.662, right? We can expect price to at least try to get to this level right here. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. We can at least expect price to attempt to get to this level over here, right? And if it does, that's great. If it does, that's great. But at the same time, we then need to prepare to see price pull back down again. So now let's go back to what we were just looking at and see where the proximity is. So if you look at where this is right now, okay, we can see that if price makes its way up to this level right here, okay, up to this level right here, which is 148.662, it's not, you wouldn't be wrong in assuming that price is going to make his way up to this low value node area over here as well. Okay, so with that in mind, I will say this: based on what I'm seeing right now on the markets, right? Based on what I'm seeing right now, I would be looking for buys. I could be right, I could be wrong. Only time will tell, but I'll be comfortable with putting in buys right now to see where we get to. And then once we get to those levels, should we get to those levels, I would then reassess, reorganize myself, right, to see if I can get price up here, right, where this low value node is sitting, which is on the boundary of the high side of the high value area. So these will be the plays for now in terms of what I will be doing, how I will be doing it in regards to USDJPY. I hope you found the content I have shared with you super useful. And if you have stayed with the content up until now, at the bare minimum, you owe me a subscribe. So do what you're supposed to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. And I will see all you amazing people on the next one.